Hey, what's up guys? Thomas here. Today we are going to be testing out some 4K 10-bit footage from the Panasonic S1H. Welcome to part 4 and the final episode of my S1H test series, where I'm just doing some initial testing of the S1H. After I have used the cameras for a while on a few more projects, I will be hitting you guys with some more in-depth reviews on the camera. So we are back at the Bronner Brothers Hair Show. You might remember this from part 1 of the series where we tested out the time-lapse mode on this camera. So this is day 2 of the setup and the booth is now completely done, and so we now need to interview my client about the setup process, and after that we will get some B-roll of the booth. So I typically use the GH5 and GH5S for most of my client work, and since I know those cameras best, I'm using them for most of my main shots today. For the interview, I have the GH5S set up for the main camera angle, and I have the S1H set up for a secondary angle. But then after we're done with all of the official interview questions, I asked my client if she wouldn't mind answering some additional questions so that I can use the S1H for those shots. For both cameras, I am shooting 4K 10-bit 422. However, the GH5S has Vlog L and the S1H has True Vlog. So we shall see how Vlog L compares to Vlog. So before we compare the GH5S Vlog L to the S1H's Vlog, let's look at a few test grades I did with the S1H footage, as I'm still trying to see what I like best. As far as exposing the Vlog of the S1H, I did expose to the right by 1 stop. In this first sample, I graded the S1H the exact same way I grade my GH5S footage with the GH Alex conversion kit. I know it's not made for it, but I wanted to try it. The next grade I created using the Panasonic Vlog to V709 LUT. In this grade of the S1H clip, I used the VariCam Nicest 709 3.3 LUT. Which grade do you guys like best? This was a tough choice for me, but I think I'll go with the VariCam Nicest 709 3.3 LUT. It's just something about the deep, rich colors of this one that I really like. Anyway, here are both of our images side by side. Let's first add our standard grade. Now let's push both images a little by raising up the saturation and see what happens. Now let's push the saturation a little bit further one last time to see what we get. Now obviously we oversaturated the last shot, and yes, I said we because you made me do it, but what I'm looking for is any artifacts that may now be visible as we really push both images. Other than some grain, I don't really see any big blotches. I think this footage will definitely hold up for whatever you're going to throw at it, and I'm really impressed with the GH5S too. I mean, I love that camera. So after I completed the interview, I got some B-roll of the booth setup, which I shot in 4K at 24 frames per second. I did also get a little bit of slow-mo as well, and I probably should have mentioned this in episode 2 when I was actually testing out the slow-mo capabilities of the S1H. But when you're filming slow motion with this camera, there's actually a crop and it switches to Super 35mm, which I know may be a bummer for people who are looking to buy this camera strictly because it's a full frame. As a Micro Four Thirds user, it really doesn't bother me much, as I'm still getting a wider angle of view than I normally get with my GH5. I was actually talking to my friend Rashad about this camera today, and he asked if I would recommend this camera over a true cinema camera like a C200, C300, and I'm going to give you guys the same answer I gave him. It really depends on what you're shooting and what you need in a camera when it comes to connections, built-in ND filters, autofocus. And that reminds me, I didn't test out the autofocus at all on this camera, so I'll have to leave that for my in-depth review. But I definitely like the camera, just like how I think the GH5 has everything I need in a Micro Four Thirds camera. This camera has everything I would personally need in a full frame camera, even though when you're filming slow-mo, it's not full frame.
Hi, I'm Michelle Gainey, an event designer with Flamiga Events. And today I'm excited to be working with a new client, Instaglue, who are debuting their new product line at the Bronner Brothers Hair Show. I wanted to create a booth design that was modern, sophisticated, and glamorous. For this booth, we built custom rose gold shelves that gives the feel of being in a boutique for this 3-step product line. I love the way it turned out, and I hope you do too.
Four-part S1H test series. I will definitely bring you guys a more in-depth review in a few months after I've gotten to work with this camera on a few more projects. So I will see you guys next week. Peace.